We're live. What's up, everybody? This is Coach Stokes, Stokeshouse Boxing Academy. You got to stay ready so you ain't worry about getting ready. And we definitely are staying ready with today's special guest. I want to let you know who I'm talking to today. I give you the tale of the tape. He's an American boxing trainer. He's one of the striking coaches for American Kickboxing Academy out in San Jose, California. He's been groomed in the game by his older brother, Gerald McClellan, one of the most feared middleweight champions ever in this era. Raised in the world-famous Kronk Gym, Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to you guys. Around great fighters, and in my personal opinion, probably one of the greatest, or if not the greatest trainer ever in the era of boxing, Emmanuel Stewart. And he's worked with many elite, top-notch professionals and amateurs in combat sports. And in his own words, he quote, "There's no difference between a top pro or amateur. I love training and get the most satisfaction from training someone from scratch as I do a pro." My man, Julius Pruitt. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being a part of it, man. I had to get you on, and just to plug my my roundtable. Julius is one of the panel on the on my podcast roundtable as well. So we'll be hitting that this Sunday. But Julius, can you let everybody know about yourself? How'd you get in? How'd you get into boxing, and what inspired you?
Well, I got into boxing by watching Gerald. Of course, everybody that knows something about boxing know who Gerald is.
Mm-hmm.
And just hanging around the gym, with him, going to the Boys and Girls Club, watching him train alongside with Kenny Gould, who won a bronze medal in the '88 Olympics. And then I got involved with boxing when I started fighting amateur with Willie Butch Elliott. He was a trainer for Olympic boxer Kelsey Banks,
Yes,
out of Chicago.
Uh-huh.
So that's who I kind of started training under. And then also out of Sterling, Illinois, which is probably about half an hour drive from where I lived at. And I used to train out of John Russell Boxing Club.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me ask you this. You were an amateur yourself. Why did you decide that, you wanted to go ahead and get into coaching, vice, continue your boxing career?
Well, with me, I was also involved with like football, basketball. I played other sports and, throughout high school. So boxing for me was more at that time part-time.
Gotcha.
And my first love was basketball. So I was kind of pursuing that, and then boxing on the side.
Okay.
And then how I came into about training a pro fighter that was training with me out of John Russell Boxing Club by the name of Bruce Rumbles.
Mm-hmm.
He had called me one day. He had a pro fight coming up, and he just asked me to work his corner. And that's how all the training started coming about. Because up until that point, I never even thought about being a trainer.
Got you. So it actually chose you.
Yes. And it was more about, we had a friendship outside of boxing. And, we used to spar together and things like that. So that's why he, asked me to work his corner, because him and his current trainer kind of had fallen out. And so he contacted me and said, "Hey, would you do me a favor and go to this fight with me and work my corner?" And then it kind of snowballed from there.
Okay. You kind of a long ways from home, like myself. You're an East Coast brother like myself. We both are out here in California. What brought you out here to California?
Well, my son had graduated from high school back in Illinois, and it was just me and him living together. And then I was just like, kind of time for a change. And then I applied for a job with Tesla, and so Tesla relocated me out here. And at the time I came out here, I, kind of wanted to link on to a boxing gym, but didn't know anything about, Northern California or things like that. So Tesla was what brought me out here originally.
Got you. You right now, you are a full-time trainer. You're a full-time coach and trainer when it comes to boxing and combat sports.
Correct.
Okay. How's that transition been when it comes from boxing, vice working with other top-notch athletes in combat sports such as MMA, Muay Thai?
Well, it's kind of, stand-up is totally different I mean, from pro boxers to MMA fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely a big transition. And how, I'm gonna back up for a minute, how it all came about. I was at home once I, moved here, watching TV. I think I was watching the Daniel Cormier fight, and it mentioned AKA in San Jose. And I knew I was close there, so I made a phone call, and I called, and I ended up talking to Javier's wife, the owner of the gym's wife, and she set it up for me and her husband to meet. So I went there, and I met with Javier, and at first he was like, this is an MMA gym, it's not a boxing gym, and kind of gave me a phone number to go down the street to another gym. And then we kept talking, and then he allowed me to work with one fighter. And I guess he was just trying to test my knowledge out with that one particular fighter. And he told me, if anybody approached you to work with them,
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't. He just said work with this one fighter. And that one fighter was Davin Clark. And he had an upcoming fight, so I worked with him. And then Javier, liked what he was seeing in me, and then things I guess other fighters were mentioning to him, and then he welcomed me to be a part of the family at AKA.
Gotcha.
But the difference, to answer the question, the difference is, MMA fighters, the punches are coming from longer distance.
Mm-hmm.
They looping punches, where boxer punches are more short and compact and precise. When they throw, they know exactly where they want that punch to land at.
Right.
With MMA, it's a little different because, and I understand because they got to worry about knees, elbows, kicks, and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely gotten better. Even for me, holding mitts form was different.
How was that different? Because I know how it's different because I worked on both sides like yourself. How was it different for you?
Well, I'm holding the mitts. I'm looking for straight punches that come in. But I'm getting looping punches coming. So I had to redirect where I hold the mitts at, and I'm kind of like trying to find the punch instead of the punch coming to me.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I want to ask you a question that's off the cuff right now, and I want you to think about it and give me a split-second answer. Are you in love with boxing?
Most definitely.
How do you know?
It's something that I would do for free. It's something I study it, I look things up, and nobody telling me to do it. I'm just doing it on my own.
So this is what I want to ask you, because I get so many people that come up to me all the time, inbox me and say, what do I need to do in order to be a trainer, or how do I train my son? And I let them know, first and foremost, this is a lifestyle. This is not something that you see on Rocky or Creed that's going to be overnight. And I think you and I talked about that. It's not a get rich quick scheme type of thing. This is a lifestyle. Can you let people out there know the lifestyle it takes to be a dedicated trainer and coach, but not only that though, to coach somebody on an elite level? You work with elite athletes, not just somebody that's, nothing against the Boys and Girls Club, but somebody who's just local. Let them know what it's going to take to be a real coach.
Well, first and foremost, like you said, you have to love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to jump in this sport and make a lot of money, so if you're getting in it right away thinking you're going to have instant gratification, you might as well go get a job, because it's not going to happen. And you're going to have people that like to jump ship. The next best thing come in the gym, or a trainer, people like to, jump ship and go to the next guy. So, you got to take that in consideration. And a lot of times now, even like me, I don't have contracts on fighters. I probably should, but I don't. It's just more of a handshake deal. You want to, and then, also, like I said, this is something you have to do for free, because a lot of hours that I put in the gym, I'm not getting paid for any of that. And some of it, I look at it as it's a benefit for me, because I get to try new things. I get to, and as I'm training, I'm learning as I'm training, so I can learn from fighters. And then you also, when you're working with elite fighters, you got to make them respect you, because sometimes they want to tell you how to do your job. And at that point, sometimes you got to tell people to take a hike. Sometimes you got to, and you don't look at it at the level they are. You the trainer, they the fighter. That's why I respect fighters when you see post-fight interviews when they ask the fighter what's next, and he say, you know, a lot of he or she, they say, when the fighter say, I'm the fighter, I leave that up to my trainer and my managers.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the type of fighters that I like to work with. But you have fighters nowadays, they want to be the fighter, the trainer, the manager. They kind of want to tell people how to do their job. And sometimes you got to, you know, tell people, thank you, but no thank you. So you get the respect that you deserve.
Was there ever a time, I know I dealt with it, and I'm pretty sure everybody does it, but was there ever a time, Julius, where you was going to, you know, be done with boxing and say, you know, the hell with this, I'm done with this? If so, what was that time? But then also, what brought you back?
Well, can you repeat that? It's kind of hard for me to hear.
Sure, no problem. I said, was there ever a time where you was up against the ropes and you said, you know what, I'm tired of boxing, I'm tired of what's going on, and you got frustrated, and you say, you know, I'm gonna walk away from this. But then, if so, what brought you back? What made you come back and say, you know what, I can't just give it up like that?
No, I don't think it was ever a time that I got frustrated or wanted to walk away from a sport, because at that point, what do that say about me if I want to give it up and walk away from it? So I look at situations like that, you know, it kind of let me know what I'm made out of. Because if I'm a quitter, then I can't, you know, what is that saying about a fighter that I'm training? I wouldn't want my son or daughter, if they was to, you know, be a fighter, to be with a coach that's a quitter. So you don't want the fighter to quit, so I'm not going to quit. Right.
I got a question for you. Pat, I give this to everybody. This is just opening up the stage for us right now. But out of all your favorite fighters in 3 different categories, I want you to tell me who are your favorite boxers. When it comes to offense, defense, and ring generalships or wits or smartness within the ring. So out of the 3, who is your favorite fighter? It can be past or present when it comes to offense.
Well, of course, my favorite fighter would be Gerald, but taking him out of the situation, I like Floyd Mayweather. Mm-hmm. I mean, pretty much he turned defense into offense, and it's just like any other sport. They say defense wins championships, right? It's the same with boxing. You know, a lot of people sacrifice defense for offense, and a lot of people teach offense and they neglect defense. Mm-hmm. So if I had a son fighting, I would want him to hit and not be hit. So for the paying people, they want to see that Rocky mentality, right?
Yes.
But if that was your son or daughter in that ring, you would want them to hit and not be hit. But paying people, they, you know, probably look at Mayweather because he don't take risks. But if you don't have to, why? Why would you? Right. That's why he got all his faculties together. That's why he's able to compete at a high level at a later age, you know, in his career.
That's right.
So I would have to give it to Mayweather.
Okay. All around Mayweather?
Probably all around. Of course, offense, Mike Tyson in his prime. Mm-hmm. Holyfield for heart, you know, courage, you know, that never quit mentality.
Right.
But all around, I would have to give it to Mayweather.
It's not bad. Defense. You think Mayweather defense was better than James Toney defense? I'm a James Toney fan, so people talk to me all the time. They talk about Floyd's, you know, in the pocket, and he changed it definitely how he did it, and he made it dope for himself. But in my personal opinion, when you talk about shoulder rolls or Philly shell, James Toney, without a doubt. That's my personal opinion. I love James Toney. He was a great fighter. And then also you got new fighters like Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer is, oh my gosh, he's brilliant. You know, guys like that. But I can't take nothing away from Floyd because Floyd just innovated the game.
Yeah, I mean, James Toney, real good defense, and I think he maximized his potential, especially going up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
I mean, because he was a middleweight.
Yeah.
And I think James Toney was his worst enemy. It's just his conditioning. But Toney could have went down as one of all-time greats. You know, he had the skills. It was just conditioning, what James Toney was going to show up. But, you know, if that wasn't a factor, I would think he would be one of the all-time greats.
Okay. Let me ask about this. Upcoming fights. Pac-Man or Brawner? Who you got?
He said, Pac-Man, just more disciplined.
More
I
disciplined.
mean, Brawner could beat him, but you just don't know who's going to show up. But you know what Pacquiao going to show up day in and day out. But Brawner, you just don't know.
Okay. Spence or Garcia?
Spence, but I think it's going to be a tough. I mean, he's a naturally bigger guy, but I think it's going to be a tougher fight than what most people think. Because Garcia, he definitely going to show up to fight. He's not going to lay down. I think he's going to take Spence and he's going to take him places he's never been took before. So I think it's going to be tougher than what people think.
Okay. I want to ask you about this because it's happened this past weekend. We're going to, don't elaborate about too much. We're going to talk about it this Sunday, but this past weekend, the Wild and Fury fight, who did you take in that fight?
From the start, I said that Fury would win that fight. Depends on if he came in shape. And so I never picked Wilder to beat him.
Mm-hmm. In a rematch, if they have a rematch, what do you think? You think it'd be the same, or you think it'll be?
No, in a rematch, I would probably have to go with Wilder because I think he know now if he put pressure on him, he probably gonna stop him. But if he sit back and fight a technical fight, that's when Fury have his best chance on winning. So I think you've seen the best Fury that you're going to see. But I think Wilder put pressure on him, be more aggressive. I think he probably stop him.
Okay.
Second fight.
All right. This is a super fight, and I'm hoping they make this. But Spence versus Crawford, who you taking?
I would probably have to go with Spence just because he's a bigger guy.
Okay.
But I think Garcia will give Crawford a better fight than Crawford will, though.
Really? Okay. All right. We got to see how that goes. Definitely, without a doubt. All right, you ready? It's part of my show where I do. It's called Coach Stokes 12 rounds. I ask you 12 questions, and you got to answer within 2 to 3 seconds, whatever comes off the top of your head. All right. Some gonna be kind of on point. Others may be edgy, but hey, like I said, this is Coach Stokes 12 rounds, and we're gonna see if you're gonna be able to complete it. Let me know if you're ready, brother.
I'm ready.
Ding ding. You're on a mountain in Alaska on a bus going 100 miles per hour. Where are you sitting at on the bus?
The front.
The front. Okay. All right. You're daring. On the video game fight night, who do you pick to whoop ass with?
Oh, fight night. Give me Mayweather.
Mayweather. Okay. All right. You keeping it smart. What animal would you describe yourself as?
A lion.
Okay. If you could pick any musical artist to open up at a show for you, I'm talking about like you had a big party, who would that be?
Music artist. Give me I'll pass on that one.
You pass over it? Okay, all right. What's your favorite car?
Right now, I would say a Tesla.
Okay. Cleto Reyes, Grant, or Winning?
Grant.
Okay, all right.
Because I like defense, and they got, a defensive fighter use Grant.
Okay, got you. All right. Nike or Adidas?
Adidas.
All right. Robert Garcia or Freddie Roach?
Robert Garcia.
Pedicure or arch your eyebrows?
Pedicure.
Okay, all right. I already asked you Spence versus Crawford. You already took Spence. Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Fight in your backyard, going to the Lion's Den?
Lions Den. See what you're made out of.
All right. And your last one, Golden Boy, Top Rank, or PVC?
Top Rank.
Hey, that was good. That was good. Hey, brother, I want to ask you this, man. What is your message to the world about yourself? What is your message, you know?
It's like they tell you in school, you know, give back, reach one, teach one, you know, just give back. No matter what you doing, just give back. And, you know, always try to do better than what you did yesterday. Always educate yourself, because education means freedom.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Listen to that, young men and women. Definitely, you gotta educate yourself. What do you have planned in the future? You got anybody coming? Any fights coming up? Anybody you training? Anybody you work with?
Well, right now, we just had a fight over the last Friday with Sean Bunch in Bellator.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably his first fight in probably a year and a half. So he looked real good, fought a former champion in Joe Warren, stopped him in a minute and 35 seconds. So hopefully he get a new contract with Bellator out of that.
Yes.
And I'm not like his head trainer, Rosendo Sanchez, is his, you know, that's who was working with him before I even came here. And when Rosendo unable to work with him, then I work with him on striking.
Okay.
Outside of that is probably maybe 10, 11 fighters that I work with at AKA, training them on stand-up. I got one pro boxer. But I got some amateurs coming up right now that hopefully we get matches for two shows in December. I think one of them is in Oakland and the other one is in Brentwood. So I'm still waiting to hear back, you know, because like I said, for me, I don't go there's a lot of top fighters in AKA. I never walk through those doors saying, I want a top UFC fighter. I just go in there trying to be the best me, and whoever wants me to work for them or start training them, I just want to give them a reward on their investment. So I just feel like if you're going, just like in a fight, if you go in a fight looking for a knockout, you tend to get knocked out.
That's right.
Going someplace and you just looking for a top fighter, it's not going to happen. Just go in there, be you, and people would, you know, see what you bring to the table and what type of trainer you are. And everybody in AKA that I train, not one of them have I went up to and said, can I train you? They all, you know, sought me out.
Mm.
And that, you know, I'm just being me. So I get the same satisfaction out of trainer or amateur as I do a top pro, because the top pro at once was an amateur too.
Yes.
And so a lot of times people go in there, they want the pros because it's money involved with that. But it's kind of like me and you talked before. I mean, anybody can train somebody when you handed a cake and you just got to put frosting on it. But I look at a great trainer, somebody can take somebody from scratch and build them up.
Yes.
You know, and when you ask me, you know, that's why I kind of picked Garcia. That's why I like the you know, I don't look at him and say, this guy trained a bunch of champions. Mm-hmm. I base a good trainer on if you took that person from nothing and made him into somebody. That's right. That's how I judge a good trainer. That's right. That's right. So anybody that trained their kid and brought him up into a champion, you got the Mayweathers, you got the Mosleys, you got the Trinidad dad. Those people are you know, Manuel Stewart. He made Kronk what it was. Tommy Hearns wasn't Tommy Hearns before Manuel Stewart. That's right. That's right. So that's how that's why I look at a good trainer. I mean, a lot of people, if you give me a fighter and he already a seasoned veteran and he win a belt, did I actually really do that? Probably not. He was already who he was when I got him. Right. Like you said, you already had that cake, that bear cake. You just add on the frosting and the fondant or whatever else you want to put on top. And so as a trainer, I like a challenge. So sometimes I want to get a person that's green and test my skill. Yeah. So, you know, I want to be able to say, you know, I actually trained this person. I can take, you know, responsibility, you know, when it comes to this person, because he didn't know the difference between a fish hook or a left hook. you know, so,
Yeah.
you know, so I'll look for challenges.
Good, good. Before we conclude, brother, your social media handles. So everybody, if you want to reach out to Julius, Coach Pruitt, get in contact with him. Could you let them know how they can contact you, please?
Well, right now I'm kind of old school when it comes to this social media. So right now all I got is Instagram, and that's JP_boxing_815. So that's pretty much what I'm using right now, just Instagram. So.
Cool, not a problem.
And I
Hey,
also want to give a shout out to King Mo for making this possible. King Mo is the one who gave me a shout out, you know, to Coach Stokes to make this possible. And King Mo, he one of the most humble guys I know. I mean, he always sending me text messages through Instagram or to my phone saying, hey, you need to get out here so we can, you know, go to some gyms out here so I can get you, you know, turned on out here to some of these elite boxing programs and boxing trainers. Always says, you know, and so I just want to, you know, thank him too.
shout out, salute to you, King Mo. We've been talking for the last, 2-3 years, man. I have not met you personally, physically, man, but it's been like we've been knowing each other for years, man. Thank you for introducing me to my newfound brother, Coach Julius, man. And, you know, I'm like I said before, I'm just looking forward to having an ongoing personal but working relationship with you too, brother. You know, we right down the road from each other, so we're gonna meet really, really soon, brother. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to Coach Stokes, Stokeshouse Boxing Academy. You gotta stay ready, so you ain't worried about getting ready. Today's interviewer was interviewee, that is, was Coach Julius Pruitt out of Detroit, but here with the AKA out of San Jose. Catch me on the next one. You can reach me at Stokes_boxing on Instagram, or my Facebook, Red Breed Fight Productions, Stokeshouse Boxing Academy, or even on my my YouTube channel, which this is going to be on, which is Coach S. Stokes or Stokeshouse Boxing Academy. This is Coach Stokes, and we out.